Alright, what's going on everyone? I'm back here again with another video, and I believe I've done a few videos on Warped Tour way back when I actually used to go to Warped Tour and everything. But this is going to be something actually kind of surprising. Kevin Lyman, the person that ran Warped Tour for all of its time and everything, has announced recently that Warped Tour is coming back. And this return, I think, will be quite interesting. I don't know if it'll just be in a few cities or what it will be in. I don't believe that's really been announced yet. But if a lot of you don't know, after Warped Tour ended in 2018, there was, I guess, somewhat of an aftermath or something like that of it in a few different cities and everything. I didn't go to that one because I didn't live anywhere near where those three were, so I wasn't really able to go. And there's some interesting stuff involving like this new one, considering like how it's going to be run and everything. And it's actually going to be overseen by Live Nation, but Kevin Lyman will still be said to be heavily involved with setting things up and everything and organizing stuff and all that jazz, you know. And, you know, this kind of hits at home for me because I used to go to a lot of Warped Tours back in the day, you know. Especially like near the end in particular, because you know the really early ones, of course, I couldn't go to because I was too young to go. But you know, for the ones I went to, I actually saw some pretty cool bands. You know, I've seen Bowling for Soup, I've seen Lagwagon, I believe, I've seen Less Than Jake, I've seen all sorts of great bands. I've even seen some bands I didn't really think I'd like before, and I actually really enjoyed their music. You know, I Prevail being one of those bands at the time, and I was into music that was sort of like that at the time, not really in that specific like subgenre, but I actually really enjoy I Prevail, and seeing them live really kind of helped me get into them more, you know. And I don't know if this whole thing will have as many bands either as it did back in the day, considering like how expensive it is to like for all these bands to get out and tour and everything, like all the equipment you have to bring along and just so much work that goes into it, especially going all the way across the country and stuff. And even in Canada, they did back in the day in a couple of cities. Like they even went to Toronto in a few of them, at least I know of. I don't know exactly how many, but they would even go to Toronto and tour, which is fucking nuts. But it was a really nostalgic thing for me because there's so many bands I got into through this. Forever Came Calling is another one. Check them out. They're like one of my favorite new pop punk bands, I gotta say. I like Real Friends a lot too. They're another great one. Man Overboard's great, but Forever Came Calling I actually saw live, and man, this is what really got me into them, was watching them live. And I love their music, and I wish they put out more music, honestly, because they're a great band. And some bands that I hope are on there is what we're going to get into next. Some groups that I hope show up to the next Warped Tour. For one, I hope Blink-182 is going to be like one of the headlining bands, because I think they definitely would fit very well in getting a lot of people to go. Especially considering the fact that they just released their new record One More Time, which I definitely recommend listening to, and they just put out part 2 to the album as well. And I actually really dig some of those songs, like No Fun and All in My Head are two great songs. And I mean, come on, what better way to almost make this look like is a sort of like classic Warped Tour than to have Blink-182 on. Another one I'm hoping to see there is Madball, to kind of put some hardcore into there too, get some headbanging music in there. Madball is a perfect band for it. They're still around doing some sick ass shit, and man, I've always enjoyed hearing them on a Punk-O-Rama and CD, and they're some of my favorite hardcore out there, along with Sick of It All, you know what I mean, and Straight Face. These guys definitely should come on, and they're one of the more like known hardcore punk bands, so I think they'd be a perfect fit for the Warped Tour next year. Another one I hope to see is Neck Deep, and these guys just put out another record, I believe, a couple of years ago, and actually I thought it was pretty neat, you know what I mean? There are a couple singles before that were kind of almost mid-ish, kind of, there's something you listen to a little bit, but they're not like your top pick, but their most recent album actually wasn't too bad, and there's quite a few songs I've gone back to on it, And I first got into Neck Deep way back, like when they first got popular, like when they put out Life's Not Out to Get You and The Peace and the Panic. Those two records I thought were absolutely great. and those two records are enough of a reason to become a big fan of these guys, in my opinion. And I think these guys would be a great fit for Warped Tour. And, you know, of course they're a band from the UK, so I don't know if they'll really be on, but, you know, to see them come to the States and go all the way across the country, that'd be pretty admirable. You know, they'd be doing it all for the fans, you could tell at that point. They would really have to have some dedication. But, you know, I think it would really show if they did come to the Warped Tour and did that whole thing, toured in the States for all that time. But, you know, we'll see, I guess. But that's one that is less of a possibility, but it's still one that I hope to see on the lineup. Another one I hope to see there, you know, that's like a funny, like, melodic punk kind of band is the Menzingers. And these guys definitely, I think, have put out some pretty cool songs recently, you know. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed their album On the Impossible Past, you know what I mean? Burn After Writing is a great song that I really hope they play and everything. And there's quite a few others I really enjoy on that record. You know, Good Things and Sun Hotel, another two absolute bangers on that record. And there's so many other great songs they put out, like I Don't Want to Be an Asshole Anymore, which is one of the more funny ones they put out. It's like one of the more known ones, but I really enjoy that song too. But those are a few bands I hope to see. If there's some bands you guys want to see, let me know what those are in the comments and what your thoughts are on this whole thing. And yeah, I'm kind of pumped for this whole thing if it does end up coming back. But kind of the question is how much your ticket's going to be, which, you know, they'll probably be more expensive than they were in the past, let's be honest. So who knows, but, you know, if the lineup's good, I might just think about going, you know. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.